Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back to the channel. I want you to take a moment and think about a rainy day, a cozy blanket. Maybe you're feeling a little under the weather. What's one of the first comfort foods that comes to mind? For so many of us, it's a warm, steaming bowl of soup. It feels like a hug in a mug, right? And in our busy modern lives, canned soup has become that go-to quick fix. It's sitting in our pantry, ready in minutes, promising warmth and comfort. But have you ever stopped to wonder what's really inside that can? Is our quest for convenience costing us more than we think? Today, we're going to peel back the lid on canned soup, exploring the good, the bad, and how we can make smarter choices for our health. Let's be honest, the biggest selling point for canned soup is its incredible convenience. After a long, exhausting day, the last thing many of us want to do is spend an hour chopping vegetables and simmering a pot on the stove. With canned soup, you just pop the top, heat it up, and dinner is served in less than 5 minutes. It's a lifesaver for busy parents, college students, or anyone who needs a quick hot meal. Plus, they have a super long shelf life, which means less food waste and a reliable meal option always on hand for a pantry raid kind of night. And let's not forget the variety. From classic chicken noodle to creamy tomato and hearty lentil, there's a flavor for just about every craving. For many people, especially those living alone or with limited kitchen access, canned soup is a practical and accessible way to get a comforting meal. But is this convenience coming at a hidden cost? This brings us to the big, salty elephant in the room, sodium. Let's look at the numbers because they tell a powerful story. According to the FDA, the recommended daily limit for sodium intake for an adult is less than 2,300 milligrams. That's about 1 teaspoon of salt for the entire day. Now let's pick up a typical can of soup. It's not uncommon to find a single serving containing anywhere from 600 to 900 milligrams of sodium, or even more. And let's be real, who eats just half a can? If you eat the whole can, which many of us do, you could be consuming over 1,800 milligrams of sodium in just one meal. That's nearly 80% of your entire day's recommended intake. So why is this a big deal? Dr. Stephen Jurashek, a primary care physician and hypertension researcher at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, affiliated with Harvard Medical School, has extensively studied the effects of sodium. His research, and that of many others, confirms that a diet consistently high in sodium is a major risk factor for developing high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. Think of your blood vessels as flexible hoses. High blood pressure is like cranking up the water pressure in those hoses 24/7. Over time, this constant force can damage the delicate lining of your arteries, making them stiffer and narrower. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, this damage forces your heart to work much harder to pump blood throughout your body, which can lead to serious health problems. We're talking about an increased risk of heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, and even heart failure. The American Heart Association reinforces this, stating that about 9 out of 10 Americans consume too much sodium, and this excess is a significant contributor to the high rates of cardiovascular disease in the country. It's a silent problem. You often don't feel the effects of high blood pressure until significant damage has already been done, and a regular habit of eating high-sodium canned soups can be a major contributor to this hidden health risk. But it's not just about the salt. What else is lurking in that can? To keep soups shelf-stable and tasting a certain way, manufacturers often use other additives. One you might see on labels is monosodium glutamate, or MSG. It's a flavor enhancer that gives food that savory umami taste. While the FDA considers MSG to be generally recognized as safe, a subset of people report experiencing symptoms like headaches, flushing, or sweating after consuming it. Another thing to consider is the nutritional quality. The canning process involves high heat, which can be great for killing off harmful bacteria, but can also degrade some of the delicate water-soluble vitamins, like vitamin C and some B vitamins. So while the soup may still contain vegetables, it might not be as nutrient-dense as a soup made with fresh ingredients. And then there's the can itself. Many cans are lined with a resin that can contain bisphenol A or BPA. The FDA states that current authorized uses of BPA in food packaging are safe based on their review of scientific evidence. However, some studies have raised concerns about potential health effects from BPA exposure, and public demand has led many companies to switch to BPA-free linings. Still, it's something to be aware of and look for on the label if it's a concern for you. So, does this mean we have to say goodbye to our beloved canned soup forever? Absolutely not. It's all about becoming a savvy shopper and making informed choices. The good news is that the food industry has heard our concerns. There are now more healthy options on the shelves than ever before. Here's your action plan for navigating the soup aisle like a pro. First, become a label detective. This is your most powerful tool. Flip that can over and look directly at the nutrition facts panel. Your primary target? The sodium content. Look for labels that say low sodium, which by FDA definition means the soup contains 140 milligrams of sodium or less per serving. Also, look for reduced sodium or light in sodium options, which will have at least 25% less sodium than the regular version. Compare different brands of the same soup flavor. You'll be shocked at how much the sodium can vary. Second, scan the ingredient list. A good rule of thumb is that shorter is often better. If the first few ingredients are whole foods you recognize, like chicken broth, carrots, chicken and noodles, that's a great sign. Be wary of lists that are packed with chemical-sounding names, artificial flavors and excessive preservatives. And if you're sensitive to MSG, look for products that are explicitly labeled "No MSG added." Third, boost it yourself. This is my favorite tip because it's so easy and effective. Think of that low-sodium canned soup as your base. You can transform it into a nutritional powerhouse. Got some leftover roasted chicken? Shred it and add it in for a protein boost. Have some spinach or kale wilting in the fridge. Toss it into the pot for the last minute of heating to add vitamins and fiber. Frozen vegetables like peas, corn or green beans are also fantastic, inexpensive additions. You can also add a can of drained, no salt added beans or lentils to make it more filling and fiber-rich. By diluting the soup with these fresh ingredients, you're not only adding nutrients, but you're also effectively lowering the sodium concentration per bite. And finally, why not try making your own? I know we started this whole conversation talking about convenience, but hear me out. Making a big batch of soup on a Sunday afternoon can be incredibly rewarding and doesn't have to take all day. You can use a low-sodium broth as your base, and then you have complete control over every single ingredient. You can load it with fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and flavorful herbs like basil, oregano, and thyme instead of salt. Then you can portion it out into single-serving containers and freeze them. Voila! You have your own homemade, healthy, canned soup ready to go for those busy weeknights. It's the best of both worlds, the comfort and convenience you crave without the health risks. Ultimately, canned soup isn't inherently evil. It's a tool. And like any tool, it's all about how you use it. By being a mindful consumer, reading labels, choosing low-sodium options, and boosting your bowl with fresh ingredients, you can absolutely keep enjoying that convenient, comforting bowl of soup without compromising your long-term health. It's about making small, sustainable changes that add up to a big difference over time. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this topic. I hope you found this information helpful and empowering. What's your favorite way to enjoy soup, or do you have a go-to healthy soup recipe? Share it with our community in the comments below. I love reading your ideas. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about making healthy choices in a practical way, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us grow and create more content for you. Stay healthy, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.